to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat podcast. We're happy to welcome all those who are listening on radio via WeFM, Vibes FM. We've got Spice Capital Radio. We've also got 100.5 FM out of La Bay in Grenville. We have Right Along out of Brooklyn, New York. And of course, we have the NDC Facebook online platform and also YouTube. So we're going to get the ball rolling very shortly. We have in studio with us Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph, Attorney General, Minister responsible for Legal Affairs and also Consumer Affairs. We'll be chatting about her recent trip to Geneva, which saw our own Vaughn becoming bestowed upon the ambassador, IP ambassador. So she'll be telling us more about that. So we'll be just back with you in a moment. Stay with us.
Can you feel the wind that blows from the seas to the Caribbean?
This evening is a happy occasion and a moment to reflect on Grenada's wider journey and how, over the past 5 decades, it has become known for its music, its sporting excellence, and support for global causes like biodiversity. We have just appointed Vaughn, one of Soca's rising stars, as our newest IP Youth Ambassador and the first ever from the Caribbean region. We're pleased to have Vaughn with us today, and we'd like to all give him a round of applause and call him Ambassador Vaughn. Yeah. So on this milestone occasion, we at WIPO also reaffirm our hope of finding more exciting and impactful ways of working together in support of Grenada's rich heritage, bright future, and of course, your music, your arts, your culture, your song, your dance, your food, your cuisine, and your innovators and creators. Thank you very much.
But Grenadians, we are a resilient people. And with WIPO's support, we are here this year to showcase Grenada's intellectual property assets and achievements with a focus on Grenada's origin-linked products, such as nutmeg, cocoa, and rum, and also to promote Grenada's rich culture, cuisine, and creativity. Director General, Grenada is especially thankful to you and your team at the WIPO Academy for facilitating KIPO's request for Vaughn to be appointed as WIPO IP Youth Ambassador. What began as a long shot has now turned into a wonderful reality for our entire country. Vaughn's presentation this evening is intended to give you an immersive experience of Grenada's culture, featuring soca music, which is a Caribbean genre.
Thank you so much. I will definitely make the best use of this appointment as I can to represent myself, my country, my family, and everything WIPO stands for. Thank you so much once again. This is an honor for me. Thank you.
Welcome back to the NDC Heartbeat podcast for this beautiful Sunday afternoon in Grenada. And in studio with me, as I indicated, is Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph. She's not just the Attorney General, she's also the Minister responsible for Legal Affairs and Consumer Affairs. As you would have heard in the video clip that we showed, this really fantastic, magnanimous occasion for soca artist Vaughn, who collected, or in fact was bestowed upon him, the great honor of ambassador, IP ambassador, which is International Property Asset. He's the first youth from the Caribbean to have been bestowed this great honor. And in studio with me to help us understand the enormous recognition which Grenada received in Geneva, Switzerland on this occasion, is Senator Joseph. Welcome to the Heartbeat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tell us about this great occasion. This is unbelievable, magnanimous indeed. Tell us all about it.
Thank you, and it's always good to be back on the NDC's flagship program, Heartbeat. And good afternoon to you, Terry, the in-studio crew, and all of your listeners. Not your, our listeners.
Yes, indeed.
And viewers. And yes, in my capacity as Minister for Legal Affairs, the Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property Office falls under my portfolio.
Right.
So that's what IP stands for, intellectual property.
Right.
And I think generally listeners would have an idea as to what comprise intellectual property. But I would just say so, especially for the benefit of our younger, our youthful listeners. Intellectual property are those intangible property rights that persons acquire in their creations and inventions. So it's intangible assets. So intellectual property will comprise rights such as copyrights, so that the rights that artists, authors, playwrights, film, all of those creators and inventors would have in their artistic works. So that's copyright. Then you have industrial rights relating to designs, inventions. That's like patents. So you have a patent, that's your intellectual property. In if you might have invented a piece of equipment, medical formula, in industrial machinery, anything like that. You would have a patent in that invention. So like I think our Mapson, Kahneman, he has a patent, Cane Juice Man. His first name slipped me, he's my good neighbor. Yes, Mapson. Yeah. He has an intellectual, a patent in the machine that he uses to extract the cane juice.
Right.
So that's intellectual property. And then you have trademarks, which has to do with branding. Like this logo here is your NDC Heartbeat logo. So we can actually register a trademark in relation to that. And that will be an asset, intellectual property. So anything to do with branding, you know, you have famous brands like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nike, Adidas. Those are all trademarks, and they're intellectual. There's value to these designs and so.
For the benefit of our listeners, why would it be important to have these things registered?
Because what can happen if you don't register them, when you create an invention or an artistic work, or you do a design of a logo or so, you immediately own the rights to use and exploitation of that invention or creation or design. But you can only enforce that right, except in the case of copyrights. You can only enforce that right if you have it registered in your name as the owner. So if you don't have, which is why when I was part of the Spice Mass Corporation, we trademarked the Jab Jab horns, and we trademarked Shortney, Vaco, Jab Jab, the words, because trademark could be either images or words. So if you don't, other people can use it. And you would not be able to enforce rights against it. For example, there's the story that is always told, that it actually is a Swedish outfit that patented the steel pan that Trinidad and Tobago is known for, right? And it's known, the world knows it was invented in Trinidad and Tobago. That's accepted by a Grenadian, by the way, Winston Spree Simon. But some other entity in Sweden got out there ahead of Pan Trinbago or some entity in Trinidad and Tobago and patented the steel pan.
So couldn't Trinidad raise objection to that?
It would be difficult if you're not first in line. There could be objection, but if you're not first in line to protect the invention or the creation.
So in other words, creativity is worldwide.
Yes.
But if you do not particularly register what you have created, you're likely to lose your creation.
You're likely to lose your creation. Right? And if you have it registered in your name and somebody else uses it, then you can enforce a suit against them for infringement of
Okay.
your right. So if I were to go using the Coca-Cola logo without permission, I could be sued for infringement of the copyright, and there's great value. And depending on the brands, and so, you know, brands have actually have value,
Yep.
monetary value.
Absolutely.
So that is also part of copyright. And then in relation to what we just did in Geneva, there's another species of intellectual property called geographical indications. And those are trademarks, in a sense, a subspecies of trademarks that are linked to the geographical origin of the mark.
Okay.
So you have, for example, champagne.
You think Paris right
You think
away?
Paris, you think, right, there's an area in France from where this beverage
Yeah.
originated. Or Blue Mountain coffee.
You think Jamaica?
Jamaica, exactly.
Okay.
Then there's Colombian coffee. Then there is Cuban cigars. And with all the embargoes and so against Cuba, Cuban cigars are sold and known and recognized worldwide.
Right.
So I'll come back to Vaughan, but as I speak to this species of intellectual property, what we are embarking on, that is the Ministry of Legal Affairs, led by CAIPO, which is our Office of Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property, headed by Mr. Robert Branch.
Right.
We are working on getting geographical indications registered for our origin-linked products, nutmeg, cocoa, and rum. We are more advanced in relation to nutmeg and cocoa. And part of our mission last week when we were in Geneva was to conduct a study tour of one of the world's leading geographical indications. And that is Gruyere, the Swiss street cheese, the brand Gruyere. And it's from that actually geographical area
Okay.
in Switzerland. So we went to their headquarters and they explained to us the process they went through
Right.
to get their geographical indication. It is a brand that is recognized worldwide, and because it is recognized as a fine quality, a high quality cheese product out of Switzerland, organic with no additives and so, it fetches very high prices on the global market.
All right.
And so the senior executive officer, chief executive officer of Gruyere, met with our team comprising myself, Mr. Branch as a registrar of CAIPO. We had Mr. Ambassador Orlando Romain with us, and of course the Prime Minister's press secretary was part of the team. And they were able to share with us their experience in developing the brand, the process of getting the geographical indication, and importantly, the benefits they are deriving. Because in our case, we have unique strains of nutmeg and cocoa, recognized globally as very high quality, higher quality than other countries that produce both nutmeg and cocoa.
Right.
And while we are not the biggest producer in terms of volume, we fetch the highest prices. Our cocoa
Simply because of
and our
quality.
nutmeg, because of the quality and the unique and refined strain that we have,
Okay.
fetch higher prices than cocoa from other cocoa
Yeah.
producing countries and other nutmeg producing countries.
Right.
So much so that in some cases we have found that there are cocoa products, chocolate products produced in other countries, and which falsely claim that they contain Grenada cocoa.
Oh.
And of course that fetches a higher price, but in fact there's no Grenada cocoa in it. We do not have a geographic indication protection for our cocoa and nutmeg. So we're working on that. That means we will be able to fetch even higher price. We would have carved a niche market. Persons and entities out there would be restrained from using Grenada cocoa on their label unless it in fact is Grenada cocoa.
Or probably have Grenada,
Or has Grenada
permission.
cocoa in it and has the permission for it to use the mark.
Yeah.
And one of the things we observed when we visited the Gruyere headquarters and factory is that the product itself is only a fraction of the benefit that is derived.
Oh,
So the CEO, for example, shared with us that because of this geographic indications and that the cheese is recognized as coming from a specific part of Switzerland, in their operation, in 1 year, annually, they have over 650,000 tourists coming through their factory. So at their factory, they have a little shop
right.
where all the cheese and cheese product and the branded souvenirs from Switzerland are sold, and there's a little restaurant where you can enjoy cuisine
So people
containing
just
the Gruyere.
go there
Right.
just to see.
So it's not just rice, so it's not just manufacturing and selling the cheese, right? People visit the factory to get the whole story, the whole process of how it is done,
Great.
how the cows are
Yeah,
organically,
Yeah.
the cows are organically fed and all of that.
yeah,
So
fantastic.
this is what we want to imitate. So
Right.
apart from getting higher prices for our products,
Right.
you'll see on the screen, listeners, we have some of our exhibition that took place while we were in Switzerland, showcasing our nutmeg, our chocolate, our cocoa, and our rum products as we move towards the geographic indication. So a lot of benefits are to be derived, right?
Absolutely.
Imagine getting more tourists coming. I know
Yeah.
a lot of tourists go to the Blue Mountains because of the Blue
Yeah.
Mountain brand.
They want to
so-
boast that I've been there.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. So we want to make good by our people. We want our nutmeg producers, our farmers, everybody to enjoy the benefits, maximum benefits from our
Right.
unique products. Part of
Fantastic.
what we did was an exhibition. And you see, we had Chef Anthony of Creative Chef, right? And he journeyed to Geneva with us and had a wonderful experience working with some top chefs in the world.
Wow.
And our reception featured Grenadian cuisine. And the theme, of course, with the cuisine that was served at the reception was nutmeg cocoa rum, or Grenadian nutmeg cocoa rum. So,
What? Let's look at the flip side to it.
yes.
Had you not led this team to Geneva in Switzerland, what would have been the fall-offs?
Well, we would have missed a golden opportunity because while we were there on hand to witness Vaughan receiving his ambassadorial credentials, and by the way, after receiving his credential, he did a concert, which was fantastic. I think you might
Wow,
have
yeah.
seen the clips.
Yep, I saw
You know,
clips.
there are countries that are in the spotlight every year at the WIPO assemblies. It's part of the feature of the World Intellectual Property Organization where people, different countries are featured. So Grenada wasn't the only country featured
Right.
this year. But Grenada, I would say...
You
we
stole
put
the
on-
highlight,
We
huh?
stole the highlight. We put on the best show. And, you know, in these settings, people tend to be a little stiff. I think our artist was the only one to get the people moving. Right?
Okay. Wonderful.
And so it was really a wonderful experience for Vaughan performing before an international audience like that, because we had high-level delegates from 197 countries attending the assemblies. And he got his ambassadorial credentials. He's the first Caribbean person to be named a WIPO IP Youth Ambassador, and the first IP Youth Ambassador in music. Now, the World Intellectual Property Organization, they give these awards every few years. I think there are about 16 ambassadors globally now.
Right.
And usually it is for branding or other types of intellectual property, inventions and designs and so. But they've never done one for music. So Vaughan is the first globally
Fantastic.
to become ambassador as a musician.
I mean,
And
this
so-
this is in fact a great inspiration for
Of
young
course.
artists
Yes, and
to want to
and
aspire.
not just in Grenada, but in the Caribbean. Because
the
of course,
region.
the Jamaican and Trinidadian delegations, you know, they asking us, well, how you all manage that?
Oh, you
How you achieve that? But part of the thing WIPO need to understand or to be satisfied of before naming an ambassador is that the person to be accredited understands intellectual property, understand intellectual property rights, understand how these rights might be exploited, and importantly understands how they can use that platform as IP ambassador to share the word and to help bring intellectual property to the man on the street. Because, you know, it's intellectual property could come across as a very high level abstract concept, but it is not, right? If you create a product, if you have a business and you have a logo, right? Your logo is your branding, and you can register that as a trademark, and so other people can't copy it.
So
You know?
I mean, the burning question here is, where did this all start? Where did it emanate from? What was the foundation of it?
Right. So the exhibition and the reception that we held was principally in commemoration of our 50th anniversary of independence. You know, last year, Grenada, we went all out in celebrating our 50th. And part of what we intended to do last year was this exhibition at the WIPO assemblies last year.
Right.
Because we were celebrating 50, and the assemblies happen every year, just as the UN General Assembly,
Right.
and they do have countries featured in the spotlight, we asked WIPO to allow us, because small countries like ours, you don't always get the opportunity because it's an expensive exercise to undertake. And we asked them if they would support us financially and in terms of capacity to host a special exhibition because of our 50th anniversary of independence during the assemblies. By then, we had also already started work towards getting our geographical indications, our GIs for nutmeg, cocoa, rum. And so we said to them, as we are celebrating 50 and we are moving towards getting our first GI, because Grenada has no GIs registered, none.
Right.
We want to feature these products, our cocoa and nutmeg, on the occasion of our 50th anniversary. And so they pledged financial support and other
Right.
to do it last year.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, Hurricane Beryl happened
Right.
days before we were to leave for
delayed
Geneva.
that.
And so it became impossible. We didn't go to the assemblies at all. And we asked them, and then of course, last year, part of what we were going to do the exhibition, and Vaughn was one of the artists. We checked several artists to come to perform at the 50th reception
Right.
with us, and Vaughn was one of the responsive artists. So he was supposed to perform last year. And because of the connection between preparing for this exhibition and reception and WIPO having a look at his profile, he appeared to be a good candidate to be, because of how he's able to brand himself and to be able to stand out on the international, the platforms like Spotify and all the streaming platforms where music is streamed. He's recognized there as one of the artists who understands his intellectual property rights, and so that is where that conversation now started during the course of this year, and we went through all the steps needed to get him accredited, and he passed every criteria. And so that's how he became. So that was the introduction there.
Right.
And of course, so it was nice coming this year, putting on the exhibition, still commemorating our 50th anniversary, having him receive his instrument of appointment, and promoting our origin-linked products. So it all came together very beautifully. And we had we put on a show that I know the whole of Grenada would be proud of.
Well, you must feel very proud having led this entire exercise towards this fruition?
Yeah, well, you know, Terry, in all of my portfolios, I try to look to see where utilizing my area of responsibility, where we can bring benefits to the people. And surprisingly, we've had Office of Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property since 2012. By the way, it was the NDC last time in government that had the vision to set up that office.
To set it up, yeah.
And nothing much was done, and there's a lot of opportunities out there, right? So we, I try in every possible way to see how we could bring benefits, and intellectual property is one of those areas that has not been utilized as much as it could. Because also there's this section of WIPO called the WIPO Academy, where they train and educate a lot of young people in areas relating to intellectual property. There's a new area now. What we're trying to do soon is to help artists and financial institutions in Grenada understand how intellectual property is valued, so that our artists can, for example, use their intellectual property assets, their copyrights and their branding and so, as collateral to obtain funding from financial institutions to advance their careers. Right?
No, we have won, well, Grenada has won, what, 17, 18 gold in our flower
Chelsea
presentation.
Flower Show, yeah.
How can that be maximized to get recognition at WIPO in Switzerland?
Well, the Chelsea Flower Show, as far as I know it, it's not necessarily linked to intellectual property rights or so, because it's a one-off event that happens.
Yeah.
You get your awards, the arrangements are taken down. They don't endure beyond
so it does not have longevity.
Yeah, that will qualify as enforceable intellectual property rights. At least that's not how I see it, because remember, it has to be a image, a mark, a brand, either in design or words, or a creation, artistic creation, art, music, drama, anything like that, or invention, a design, or a formula for a product or something like that.
The presentation of the flowers have too much of a short life, put it that way?
I would think so. I wouldn't think that that would qualify as something that will create enforceable intellectual property rights. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. What about our sporting personalities?
Oh, that's the other thing.
How would that play
yes,
out?
there's a great deal of intellectual intersection between sports and intellectual property. And I must say, WIPO is going to do a workshop, I think it's in August or September this year, in St. Lucia, on sports and IP. And we will ensure, my ministry will ensure, that Grenada has representation at that event. So, for example, you know, Usain Bolt and his trademark, the how you call it, the Greek goddess.
Yes.
He's had his trademark, that move, right?
Okay.
And a lot of the athletes, they use, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the athletes, yes.
Yeah, a lot of the athletes have trademarks.
Right.
Their signature moves or so. And a lot of them collaborate with some of the big brands like Nike, Adidas, Puma, whatever, right? So they do enjoy intellectual property rights. So Usain is making money from his signature move, because the move cannot be, the symbol or the image cannot be implanted on any product or item or used any other way without his permission or without paying him royalties.
So individuals listening to your explanation, and they believe or they think that they have created something be it artwork, be it music, be it whatsoever.
A move, a signature
Where-
move. Maybe Mr. Killer and his upside down wine. You know.
Well, all of that. Where do they go in order to get recognition for their works?
So any trademark, any mark like of that nature is registered at the Office of Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property,
Which is
located at
on
Upper Lucas Street, just at the back gate to the Parliament. You know, the Parliament has two entrances,
Yeah.
one on Lucas Street and one by the roundabout.
Okay.
So Kaipo is across from the Lucas Street
Right.
entrance there,
So
right
they go
there.
to Kaipo and
And
register.
they can register their mark or their invention or, well, in terms of copyrights, the rights exist as soon as you create it. So you don't have to actively register it as you would have to do a trademark or a design or geographic indications, right? And one of the things we are moving towards, and before the end of the year, we intend to sign on to an international convention named the Madrid Protocol. And what that does is that for trademarks, right now, if you register a trademark, it only has national protection. So
Right.
it only has protection in Grenada.
Grenada, yeah.
And you can only enforce the rights in Grenada.
Right.
When your country is a member of the Madrid Protocol, a trademark registered in Grenada would have protection in many other countries. So you have all the countries that are party, which is most countries of the world now,
Right.
to the Madrid Protocol. And when you register your mark, you can designate which countries you want your mark to be protected in.
Right. And what
And-
kind of cost is involved in this?
It's nominal, you know. The fee to have it done will not change. Right now, I think it's in the region of about just under $500 to register a trademark at Kaipo.
Right.
At between 3 and 500 to register a trademark as Kaipo. When the Madrid Protocol comes into operation, it wouldn't be much different, but you will get wider protection for your intellectual property. Right?
Now, how does Kaipo determine whether if what an artist or whosoever is registering an item, whether if it's not yet registered elsewhere?
Right, that's a good question. So
How do they determine that?
there's a process, they do a search, right? In fact, we recently at Kaipo, only a couple months ago, completed the digitization of all our records from 2012 when Kaipo was set up, coming forward, and that is on the WIPO global system now, global network called IPAS. That's the name of the network, IPAS. And so when a mark is registered, we can check to see whether there are any other marks anywhere with the same name,
Right.
or it's the same symbol. It's a standard part of the procedure. So a check is done. So
Okay.
if there's a mark already registered by that name or a symbol identical to that, the applicant will be told
Right.
that the mark is already registered.
So intellectual property, an individual may think, well, oh, what I've created, that's no big thing. How should they respond to what they have created?
Right, so you must ascribe value. You must ascribe value to your creations. Because you sit, and in most creatives, you have to get an inspiration from a supreme source.
Exactly.
And even after you get an inspiration, a lot of thought has to go into what you do, right? You have various versions. I mean, the creatives will know exactly what I'm talking about. Whether
Yeah.
you're writing a book or you're doing a design or anything like that, it takes a lot. And it's all here in the head.
Intellectual stuff.
That's why it's called intellectual property. So when you're complete with that, you must ascribe a value to it, right? Think about what is the value of the Nike sign now?
Oh, millions,
Billions, right?
yes.
Or Coca-Cola, one of the better known, Apple.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's just an apple with a bite on it, right?
That's it.
And it's trademark.
Trademarked.
Right?
Yeah.
So people must think of their creations and their inventions in that way. And if you create something unique that you want to belong to you forever, you register it as a trademark. In the case, as I said, in the case of written and musical works and so. Once you create it and you publish it, how the law works is that you automatically has a right to it. So you don't need to take any active step to register it. But that's not the same for signs and logos and designs and inventions and so.
Right. Now, what you have, successfully explained here to our listening audience, would you ask Vaughn, therefore, to put this in music?
A really good idea. Because he has, as an IP ambassador now,
Precisely.
he has to help our government. We want to
educate all artists.
Because remember, we have created an Office of Creative Affairs.
Right.
And
yes.
that's one of the things that makes Grenada unique. Unlike other countries in the Caribbean, we actually have a designated government agency, that's the Office of Creative Affairs, where we can channel our IP initiatives and so. Because, CAIPO could be very procedural, formal and legalistic, right? You go there, you register your market, you enforce your whatnot. But to bring it alive now and to bring IP to the ordinary man on the street, to let the Rasta man in the market doing his craft understand that there's value in that.
Absolutely.
Right? We have to take the intellectual property concept and benefits and so to the man on the street, and that's what Vaughn is going to help us to do.
Fantastic, because the guy who does the Blogger Leaf quote, that is intellectual property. But we'll be back in a moment, and when we come back, I would want you to explain to us whether if food, the creation of food, also falls into that category. But we'll be back in a moment.
The Grenada Cultural Festival Group invites you to the 17th Annual Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Madling Day. Bring the whole family out to celebrate and experience the culture with live performances from Grenadian artists, crafts and food on sale. Sunday, August 17th, 2025. All boys and girls field at 777 Rutland Road, Brooklyn, New York, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Performing live, Loverman, Slaughter, Skinny Button, Westways, King Blake, Angel Joseph, and so many more. Special performances by Quick USA, the Greenhouse Drummers, the Big Drum Dancers, Spice Generation Dance Company, and Jab Jab Family. Featuring from Grenada Conception Dance Theatre. There will be lots of activities for the kids, bouncy castle, face painting, and so much more. Your MC, Big Bombs. Get your tickets online, GrenadaDay2025.eventbrite.com. It's Grenada Day 2025, Sunday, August 17th. This event is sponsored by Arise Credit Union, Grenada Cooperative Bank, National Lottery Association, Apple Bank, Williams Funeral Services, Allstate Insurance, La Bay Market, the Coldpot Bar and Grill, New Radio Digital, and Crossroad Radio. Come out and celebrate the culture, rain or shine. This activity is not sponsored or supported by NYC or the Department of Education.
Summertime. Get ready for the ultimate summer in the park family fun day at the Seaview Park in Brooklyn. Join us on Sunday, July 27th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. for a day packed with fun, friends, and food. Enjoy free dental giveaways, exciting games for the kids, live music, and drumming that will keep everyone dancing. Bring the whole family out for a day you won't forget. For more information, call 973-462-0596 or visit www.ndcnewyorkchapter.com. Don't miss this amazing free event, sponsored by the NDC New York Chapter. Summer in the Park Family Fun Day. It's coming. Be part of it.
Let's get in gear as the Spice Mass Corporation starts the semis weekend. The road to the crown. Weekend kicks off with the Brian Griffith Groovy Soca Semis. Thursday, 24th July, 8 p.m. Then the Trevor Friday Power Soca Semis. Friday, July 25th, also at 8 p.m. And for the Calypso lovers, the Melody Puppeted Calypso Semis, Sunday, 27 July at 5 p.m. All going down at Progress Park in St. Andrew. Admission only $40 for each show. Get your tickets now online at cotafed.com and all SMC authorized outlets. Semis weekend. Groovy Thursday the 24th. Power Soca Friday the 25th. And Calypso Sunday, July 27th. Progress Park. It's mad.
Somebody say yeah, yeah. And that's not enough, that's not enough. Say yeah, yeah. Okay, that's better. I'm gonna teach you the song now. It doesn't matter if you say you can sing like me. I know some of you can sing way better than I can. You see, you said, she's like, so, just follow me. Welcome to Spice Man. Can you try? Ready? Welcome to Spice. Come on. Everybody, sing. Welcome to Spice. Oh Lord. One more time. Sing. Welcome to.
Climate change doesn't adhere to a specific time frame. It fuels multiple hazard events, from hurricanes and flooding to heat waves and landslides. These events may occur back-to-back or simultaneously, creating compounded risks for our communities. Preparedness must go beyond one season or one threat. Preparedness must be year-round and multi-hazard focused. Preparedness is resilience. Preparedness begins with you.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA.
The NDC branch of the town of St. George announces its Carnival Kickoff Rum Runner Cruise on Saturday, July 26th from 2 to 6 p.m. Boarding begins at 1 p.m. Tickets cost $80 and are available from GoToFet, Grenadian Optical, and NDC Town of St. George members. For more information, call 458-7449 or 416-5310. The NDC Town of St. George branch announces its Carnival Kickoff Rum Runner Cruise on Saturday, July 26th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Get your tickets now.
Welcome back to the NDC Heartbeat podcast for today's Sunday. In studio with me is Attorney General Claudette Joseph, Senator Claudette Joseph, also with responsibility for legal affairs and consumer affairs. And we're talking intellectual property and the honor bestowed upon soca artist Vaughn, Ambassador Intellectual Property Youth Ambassador, first in the Caribbean. So when we went on the break, I'd asked whether if intellectual property can be bestowed upon creativity of food producers, like vegan food, etc., etc. Right.
So the answer is yes. There are certain brands, we see them in the supermarkets. There's Farmer's Choice, I think there's one. Think of Caribbean, we have Catelli, we have Grace, we have all the different types of Bermudez,
Yeah, right.
famous Cricks.
Cricks biscuit, yeah.
All of that is food.
Yep.
And so Pine Hill out of Barbados, we have De La Grenade. As a matter of fact, let me give you a fun fact. One of the first trademarks, if not the first one, registered in Grenada was De La Grenade industry. Yes, she registered her mark very, very early.
Wonderful.
All right, De La Grenade industry, and that's food. You have jams and jellies and so on. And then we have Baron Foods, which is also another popular Grenadian and regional brand. So the answer is yes, Nestle, all of that. That's food.
Yep.
So, yes, you can have trademarks in relation to food.
It is saying to me, therefore, this is like a whole brand new industry in itself. And how can we get our people to understand and come to grips that this is a new industry that they can really capitalize on?
Right. So I was saying when we took the break that one of the reasons behind the establishment of the Office of Creative Affairs was to invest more in our creative to provide more opportunities for them.
Right.
And while KAIPO is the facilitator, the means through which brands and inventions and so are registered and protected,
Right.
and rights are enforced, especially when we come to the Madrid Protocol and so. In order to realize, in order for our people and our creatives, our inventors and so, to realize the true benefits
Right.
of intellectual property, KAIPO and the Office of Creative Affairs must work closely together. And that's why we went to Geneva together.
Right.
We had a representative from Creative Affairs and from KAIPO. Because it is through the Office of Creative Affairs, we will have to do a lot of the public education that is required for people to
Right.
start to catch on and understand and embrace the concept of intellectual property and attaching value and monetary value to intellectual property.
Now,
So,
when that new ministry or industry was created, was it ever conceptualized that the Ministry of Legal Affairs would be working so close with the department or ministry responsible for that creative endeavor?
it may not have been at the forefront, but it was definitely inevitable. Because if as legal affairs and the Office of Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property, we want to do more than just sit back and wait for people to come to register their intellectual property assets, then we'd have to find a way to bring IP to the man on the street. And in fact, that's one of the focus areas for the current Director General of the World Intellectual Property Organization, Director Darren Tang. He's from Singapore, and he's very practical and hands-on, and he wants to see, you know, WIPO have all these great opportunities and scholarships and initiatives and training and so, and a lot of the times our people don't get the benefits because they don't know.
Right.
So the local intellectual property offices are charged with bringing all of this benefits and information and so to the people.
Right.
And for us, luckily, we have the Office of Creative Affairs. So we're going to be working closely with the Office of Creative Affairs in training, making sure our artists and our creative and people in general get training so that they understand what intellectual property is all about and how it can be exploited.
Were you talking about half the population of Grenada?
Yes, that's all right.
Because
The
all
more the merrier.
Grenadians are creative.
Because
the
remember-
majority are artists.
And that's great, and that's why Grenada is a great candidate, right, to push intellectual property right now. And as it stands now, in the eyes of the international community and especially at the World Intellectual Property Organization, Grenada is viewed very positively. Grenada is viewed as a leader and a driver. In fact, one of the deputy directors, in chatting with me over lunch one of the days, he said, you know, right now Grenada is the biggest IP jurisdiction in the Caribbean.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That was a big compliment because I know
Yep.
Jamaica has really been in the forefront over the years, but Jamaica on a level of their own,
Yeah.
you know, with their music and
Right.
and all of that. They really Jamaica itself is a global brand, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
So, but they have been very pleased with our efforts here and are willing to support our efforts, give us, like, to have the exhibition and the reception. They contributed heavily to the effort, both giving us financial support to bring everybody up, because we had a team of about 12 travel to
So they
Geneva.
financed that.
In part, and
Yeah.
then the government of Grenada. And it was really a collaborative effort, sir, because you had the Ministry of Legal Affairs, you had the Office of Creative Affairs, you had the Grenada Tourism Authority, you had the Cocoa Association. So it wasn't just us, right?
Right.
You had the Cocoa Association, and then you had even the Ministry of Finance chipping in. So it was a real collaborative effort, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone, all the government agencies, the private sector, WIPO, everybody who contributed financially and resource-wise. The Grenada, not GCNA, right? We had quite a few products from them, all the rum producers on the island. I would really like to thank all of you for your input in making this the great success that it was.
Well, earlier on, I posed the question to you, had you not led this delegation to Switzerland, what the consequences would have been.
We'd have lost.
And the reason for posing the question is to send a message to the naysayers. All you're only traveling and flying here, flying there. Well, if you didn't fly, Vaughan wouldn't fly.
No, no.
And all the other benefits would not have flown.
Exactly.
So,
no, and more to come, because
here are great returns as a result of traveling to Geneva.
Invaluable, because part of what we did when we met with the head of the, WIPO, these large organizations, they have subsections. And there's a section called the WIPO Academy. That's the section under which the youth ambassador is named. And they have other opportunities for training and development and whatnot. And they are going to offer some scholarships to some of our creatives, so we have to work on that. Then out of the discussions we had while out there, in November, Grenada is going to host a workshop sponsored by WIPO.
Wow.
Sponsored and paid for by WIPO on the creative industries.
Whoa.
Right? And that's going to be for the whole Caribbean, but we are going to get to host it.
Fantastic.
Right?
So you
we
have
a
July cram with the Afro-Caribbean Conference.
Yes.
You have Carnival, jam-packed. September, you take a break.
And we
October,
come back,
you level up, and you're back again in November.
We come back, yes. And in
Wow.
August, the seminar in St. Lucia is taking place, IP and sports. So, and again, we're very instrumental in making sure that. But St. Lucia, it was nice for St. Lucia to host it because, of course, they have their queen of athletics now, Julian Alfred. She's doing great and making St. Lucia proud, making the whole Caribbean proud. And she's such a wonderful ambassador for St. Lucia and the Caribbean. So IP and sports, it would be good to have that workshop in St. Lucia.
Which sporting personalities would have the opportunity to attend this event in St. Lucia?
I am not sure yet, because I don't think the program is quite finalized. Or if it is finalized, I haven't seen it yet. So I'm not sure yet. But I know we have representative. We'll have representative from Grenada attending.
Great.
The Ministry of Sports. So that's what CAIPO would have to be like a link. So in this particular instance, we would get, we would collaborate with the Ministry of Sports to make sure the right persons attend and represent Grenada, and so that we benefit to the max. And so whatever we do, but I really look forward to bringing IP to the man on the street, because remember, when we set up the Office of Creative Affairs, we said we were going to create a new sector of our national economy.
Right.
That's a creative economy. And this is all part of it. Intellectual property is a segment of the creative economy.
Well,
And we want to maximize it, and so that our young people can have sustainable income from their creative works, where they don't necessarily have to be employees, but self-employed in a sustainable way. You have a lot of areas. You have AI, you have cyber, all the cyber security aspect of it. Then you have the monetization on the various platforms like your YouTube and Facebook, and so we want to help our content creators as well. That's all part of it. Right?
Absolutely, it's a great opportunity for our creative folks, and congratulations to Ambassador Orlando Romain for leading the charge in that ministry.
In the Office of Creative Affairs.
Absolutely.
He's doing a really good job, and it's always actually a joy to work with Orlando. He's really such a good guy to work with,
fantastic.
Full of energy, intelligent, passionate about what he does, and very creative. He thinks out of the box.
Yeah, wonderful.
So it's always great. So we look forward at CAIPO to working with the Office of Creative Affairs and any other government department that we need to work with to bring benefits. So in the case of the GIs that we're working on, we had to be working with the Ministry of Agriculture, the Grenada Cocoa Association, the GCNA, and our private sector in a big way. In fact, one of the things the CEO at Greer explained is that the GI, maximizing the GI and getting the most out of it in terms of monetary returns, wouldn't work if you don't have the private sector on board.
Right.
If you don't have the Cocoa Association on board, if you don't have the Nutmeg Association on board, or the rum producers. It has to, everybody has to be on board. It has to be a true collaboration between government and the private sector for us to really realize and maximize the benefits of having GIs. And I really look forward to it.
But you mentioned about our rum producers. We are not producing enough rum for export. Too much is being drunk locally.
The thing that is true. Rivers don't have rum to export.
You have nothing to export.
But I think in terms of
which in itself is a problem.
But with the GIs, I must say we are more advanced with the nutmeg and cocoa than we are with the rum, because part of the thing with the GIs is that you have to, it has to be, the product has to be truly organic. And the only real organic one in terms of the rum, really, I would say is River and Twine.
So River and Twine may need special concessions and financial assistance in building and increasing its production.
Well, because specifications, certain specifications will have to be met.
Yeah, of course.
So it's 3 GIs we're working on. So I must confess we are focusing on nutmeg and cocoa. We are working on rum, but we are more advanced with the other two.
Yeah.
Because to get the GI, you have to have, it's a science, you have to have the specifications as well. So you have to have the product tested, and the unique qualities in the product has to be recorded and specified. That makes it different and unique from any other. And that will be linked to Grenada. Now we know already that our cocoa and nutmeg, they're special. So it's just working out the specifications and so now. So it's quite an involved process.
So those products have to go through R&D research institute.
Yeah. They will have to go through a certain process so that the specifications can be determined. I
the
think
strains are well known.
Yeah, that's where we are now. But I'm very excited about it because then we will have a nice niche market.
Absolutely.
And Grenada cocoa will be even higher on the pedestal. I'll give a little story about Grenada cocoa. In 1998, I went to Geneva, and I met a Swiss girl, and we became friends. You know, we hung out and stuff. And then when I was leaving, she gave me a gift, and she said to me, "Oh, this is the finest chocolate. You know, Swiss, they're famous for their chocolate.
Oh yes,
it's the finest chocolate ever. You wouldn't find it anywhere else. It's most expensive chocolate in Switzerland. Blah, 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 blah.
Indeed.
So when she left,
and they don't even have one cocoa tree.
No. So when she left, now I turned and before eating the chocolate, I started reading the fine print. You know, because I wanted to know what made this chocolate so special. And then written in very fine print at the back, it said, "Made with the world's most exotic cocoa from Grenada, West Indies."
Okay. But we in real fine print.
Yeah, but that was the day before cell phone, so I couldn't call her and tell her, but you give me my own cocoa and tell me it's so special. But you see that, so since then I knew that we had, because you know the Swiss is up there for their chocolate.
They're well known.
And then for them to be having Grenada on a pedestal like that. Same with the Belgians, and they make a lot of chocolate too. So we are known out there for having the finest quality cocoa.
Absolutely.
So we want to harness that so our farmers can make more money.
Absolutely, sure indeed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, time has certainly caught up with us already.
Yes,
and,
thank you.
Let me therefore invite you to make your closing comments, or if you have more time, we can continue on. But for those listening on radio, we want to say goodbye and to invite you to join us either on our Facebook page or YouTube. I guess we'll continue for another few minutes once the studio team are happy to do so.
Yes.
So,
I just want to again thank Mr. Robert Branch and his staff at Kaipo for the great work they have been doing, especially with pursuing some of the programs and initiatives offered and sponsored by the World Intellectual Property Organization in relation to intellectual property that will bring benefit to our people.
Right.
Right? So it's a number of things, because again, I didn't even mention the new patent legislation we're going to be coming with very shortly. That will help make it easier for Grenadians to register their inventions and creations. Right? So I would really like to thank Mr. Branch. It's not easy work.
That's Robert Branch.
Robert
right?
Branch. It's not easy work. It's highly technical work, highly involved. So he has to be a technician and an administrator as the registrar of KAIPO at once.
Okay.
And of course, there's the other side of KAIPO, which deals with companies and businesses.
Right.
So when you're on the inside and you know what is involved, you have a better and different appreciation.
Right.
So I would like to commend him. KAIPO has been an office that has been just on the side. The politicians in the past have not paid much attention to KAIPO to tap into the benefits that can be derived.
Right.
And we are doing that. And
Fantastic.
we are looking to strengthen the Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property Office.
That's the same office Finbar works in.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, he's one of the officers there.
Right.
I've been hearing some stuff, but
Good.
when these things occur or are alleged, responsible and proper and thorough investigations must take place.
Yep.
And so it's not anything that would be ignored or swept under the rug. People who know me, they know that's not me. That's not my style. So what has to be investigated will be investigated. But I just want to assure the public that all the good stuff you just hear me talking about, Vaughan being a global IP ambassador, we getting our GIs recorded, new Madrid Protocol legislation, digitization, all of that is happening at KAIPO. All of that good work and progress is taking place at KAIPO.
Well,
and I will tell you, only last week,
congratulations
Friday,
to the staff at KAIPO.
Yes. So in the beginning of 2024, we signed, 2023, we signed an agreement with WIPO that saw the digitization of all the trademark and so records from 2012 to present for free. WIPO did that gratis. That's the agreement we had with them. They provided all the technical and other assistance needed, machinery, the equipment, they provided that. And with the support of CARICOM now, under a program sponsored by CARICOM, only last week, Friday, we started the digitization of the records from 2011 going back to the beginning. And that is going to be completed in about 5 months. So after that project is completed, we would have all the records of KAIPO digitized. Not many ministries and governments can boast of that. And
major.
Everything would be online, right?
Fantastic.
We had in 2023 and 2024, we doubled the number of businesses and companies registered at KAIPO. And so I know great work is taking place there. And as with all offices, you would have challenges, you would meet bumps in the road, and those will be dealt with appropriately and fairly. So
things happen.
I would just like to thank the staff, Mr. Branch and his staff, for the work they're doing.
Fantastic, wonderful indeed. I mean, this is so new to the Grenadian public. And of course, our artists out there should pay specific attention to this conversation.
Not just artists, creators, fashion designers as well, right? Graphic design. You know, once you're creative, once you invent something, right? Once you write, you produce, That's all intellectual property.
So, and our people are so creative. So you're talking more than half the population.
We could do a lot more, and we are going to
benefit.
put things in place to do so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would be good to see, for several workshops to be held throughout the country.
That is going to happen.
By the Creative Affairs
That is
Department
going to happen.
and your department.
Yeah. And with the renewed interest, because, I went to the assemblies, and because IP is such a technical area, you find a lot of instances the ministers, it's a meeting of ministers, but a lot of ministers send their technical people.
Yeah.
Because it's such a technical. So they were very, very pleased with the fact that I was one of those ministers. Several ministers showed, but you find it's more the bigger countries, the more advanced countries. I think the Bahamian minister was there for a little bit as well. But the other ministers from the region were not in attendance, and it was a big deal for me to be there and participating and making the ministerial statement that I did on the opening day, and so it really augurs well for us.
Great, fantastic. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and his cabinet obviously must be very proud of your accomplishment out in Geneva, and of course the works of the Intellectual Agency and CAIPO and Ministry of Legal Affairs all come together in making this great presentation, and of course Vaughn taking the spotlight.
Yes,
it's wonderful.
He's such a
indeed.
great guy, he's so humble and unassuming and with all the talent.
Well, I know he's going to come out with a serious, whatever it is, soca, kaisho, whatever, on intellectual property and how you can maximize the benefits of getting true recognition and earn income.
I'm sure I
through
don't
the
have to have a
intellectual
conversation
property.
with him on that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's already planning. He's already planning, I'm sure.
Yes.
If he wants to use the clip out of the show, then he has permission. And then the other artists.
So we're moving on, we're pressing on, This government, I must say, you could say what you want, you could invent and contrive whatever criticisms you want, but nobody could seriously say that this government is not performing.
Exactly. This is major.
Cannot be said.
Within 3 years, this is unbelievable.
On so
major
many different levels.
On different fronts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, there's another project that falls under my ministerial portfolio as Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister, and that's the Hall of Justice project.
Right there, the Hall of Justice. What's the latest on that?
So we are at this stage now where we have just sent out invitations for requests for proposals for design concepts, initial designs. And so we should have those back in the next 4 or 5 weeks. And after that, we would go into the detailed designs, because there was a concept before, but it has changed somewhat in that we are adding facilities, accommodation for the DPP. That wasn't there.
Right.
And the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs, that wasn't there. Of course, we also consider a family court and a sexual offences court. So all of that was not in the prior contemplation.
And what about a night court for small offences?
Oh, well, I guess that is not something that will have such structural considerations now. If that is warranted, an existing court within the edifice could accommodate that. So it's not something that we have thought of, though.
Yeah, because a lot of small matters in the small claims court go on for months, sometimes years, and some folks feel, well, like justice delayed is almost like justice denied. And a lot of work needs to be done in that area.
I know there was talk about that at some point in terms of a predial larceny court. Because the farmers, part of the problem they have with coming to court is that when they have to come to court, they have to leave their farm. And I know farmers leave 5 and earlier in the morning to go to their farms in the mountains, some of them. So it's hard to come to court for 9.
Well, when they
So
come
I
to
know-
court, then the thief go in the land and commit the crime.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
So he can't afford to spend too much time in the court.
Yeah, so that was the discussion I have in the night court. I know happened some time ago in relation to Pradia lastly. And that is still a possibility, you know.
Yeah,
It's still a
because, you know,
possibility.
the farmers could go to court at night.
Yeah.
Others could go to court at night. The thieves may hardly go in the land at night.
But I'll tell you, this week we have the project consultant for the Hall of Justice, and her team. They would be carrying out a series of interactions and stakeholder outreach during this week.
Oh,
So all the interested parties, magistrates, judges, the Bar Association, the social development, Ministry of Social Development,
Yeah.
the police, prisons, all the people who interface with the court on a regular basis.
right.
There will be a series, because we've completed the building brief, which is a document that details the concept, what would be included, why we didn't go with certain standard things like oversized courtrooms and that kind of thing. So it's a whole detailed document, and that would be there'd be interactions with all the stakeholders on that. So we're
Right.
moving ahead. Once these interactions are complete, we would then go into and we have had the concepts, we would then go into the details. And also there's another element in the Hall of Justice project, which deals with institutional strength, and it's similar to what we are doing with Project Polaris.
Right.
So that you don't want to go into a new structure with old processes
Right.
and old attitudes, and so. So we are the two components of the project, they are running side by side.
Right.
So a lot of the interactions this week will center around some of what the stakeholders would like to see included in a new Hall of Justice. And a big aspect of that would be in embracing an integration of technology in the
Okay.
whole thing.
Any location identified for this development?
Oh yes, the Mount Welldale in the area around where the old Morris Bishop residence is, right. So it would be
Okay.
near Parliament and Government House and
Right.
the
yeah, so-
official residence of the Prime Minister. Yeah, that area there.
Yeah. And what are the plans for the old former Parliament building on the top of Market Hill?
Well, that's a different. You asked, but it's not connected with
No,
Hall of Justice.
no, but it just
It's,
came to mind.
We are looking to the renewal and rejuvenation of the whole of the town of St. George, and a part of that would involve the Church Street area, starting from York House. We've just acquired the Priory building.
Right.
That acquisition is the government purchased that, and a new art gallery will be open there. And then we have the old public library, we have the drill yard, so it's a whole area there, especially as we are completing the rehabilitation of Fort George.
Right.
So we want to really expand the whole experience to include York House, the art gallery, the old public library, the museum, the drill yard. And so at this stage, the renovation of York House is on the cards, and there is an ongoing discussion as to whether the library should be placed there and the location of the library be used for something else. So
Okay, you have several schools around.
yes,
there.
so
Yeah.
we are still in that phase where
Planning.
we're determining. I'm leaning to put in the library there
Yeah.
and doing something else with the library building.
Right. Could be more commercial.
Yes, something else. But there's a school of thought that the library should be reopened where it was up
Yeah.
to when it closed.
But the public should be aware of the fact that there's a lot of water from the sea
Underneath,
undermining.
yes, when you go
with
into
the
the library,
library.
yes, sometimes
Yeah.
yes, it's underneath.
And that's a major
Yeah.
scope
And
of works.
the old Parliament building, York House, is located in the middle of so many different schools. It's closer
Yep.
to all the schools.
Yep.
If you take
Ideal.
from Wesley College,
Mhm.
Park School, all the way PBC, Heinz,
Well, even if you go
or
as far
Heinz,
as
Happy
the
Hill,
stadium and
all of them.
Westmoreland and so
yeah,
forth, it's
so
all within.
all the schools
Yeah.
are so close by.
It's unfortunate several years ago, large trees were allowed to grow from the
Yes.
foundation in that
Well, we
building.
took care of that.
It was really sad.
Yeah, when we came into office,
Yeah.
we did a major clean.
Yeah, I noticed, yes,
Yeah,
that,
so-
that was cleaned up.
We try to see how much of the structure that can be preserved, but that
Of
will
course, it
depend on
needs
the
preservation.
experts. Yeah.
This is real history.
Yeah, but whatever happens,
Mm-hmm.
but we would attempt to restore the structure in its original architectural
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
character.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
yeah,
The town may be able to get recognition by the United Nations for a city that has
Yeah.
restored its
And-
history.
and at one point,
And
I think
buildings.
we were on the road to becoming a UNESCO heritage site, the town
Yep.
of St. George.
Mhm.
But then that fell through. But so we are working on it. One of the things we did when we went to Switzerland as well was we visited. There's a village. So there's the Gruyere factory,
Right.
which by itself sees almost 1 million tourists annually. And then there's a village.
Yep.
There's a Gruyere village,
Mhm.
which because of the geographical indication of the Gruyere cheese
Mhm.
itself,
Yep.
the village itself became a tourist
Yeah.
destination.
Uh-huh.
So there are lots. We went, we walked through the village, so many tourists, overrun with tourists and shops and so on. You can see some of what were former residences
Right.
turned into small hotels,
Mhm.
little inns, restaurants downstairs, and accommodation upstairs. And it's all nicely done, and you can see it was
Yeah.
done over
Mhm.
with a plan. The streets were turned into cobblestones and
Cobblestone,
that
right,
kind.
yes.
Really, really pretty. And it shows, the spin-offs
Yeah.
that can occur.
A reinvigoration of history.
Hmm.
Yep.
So we can do something like that
Yep, absolutely.
with the whole space there of Church Street, from York House to the drill yard, the library.
So much to be done.
Yes.
So much to be accomplished.
And I could tell
You need another 2 terms in
I was
office
just
to get
about to
all
say-
of this done.
I was just about to say to the people of the town of St. George, it would be more feasible for me to lead that as your member of parliament.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm
But for
taking-
you to
I'm
lead
taking
as member
liberty-
of parliament, your entire team has to be brought
I'm
back into
taking
office.
liberties now because, of course, my party is in government, and
Yeah.
so I have a seat at the table,
Yep.
and I'm making the most I can of that seat. But I would be even better placed to serve in these capacities with a seat in the lower house of the parliament.
So
It's
in other
nice
words-
to be in the upper house, but a seat where you are sent to the parliament by the people to do their work, that would put me in
An
better
elevation
standing.
from caretaker
Better standing,
to the
yes.
main taker.
Caretaker to the main taker. Okay, Terry.
Well, time has certainly passed on. Eh, I'm getting signals from the crew at the back. Terry,
Yes.
you're talking too much time to. We want to go home.
Right to go. Yes.
So let me invite you for your closing comments.
Yes, thank you very much, Terry, and thanks again for having me. Thanks for staying with us, those of you listeners and viewers who have stayed with us. And I just look forward to continuing to use the opportunity that the people of Grenada have given to me and the National Democratic Congress to advance their interests, to work for them. And as can be seen in my own portfolio,
Right.
whether it's labor, whether it's legal affairs, whether it's consumer affairs, or the Office of the Attorney General, I look for every and all opportunity to do what is right by the people and to bring them benefits.
Fantastic.
So, thank you very much. And please, people of the town of St. George and everybody else, we still have tickets for the Rum Runner Cruise on Saturday.
Great.
So please, it's only $80. It's all inclusive. Well, it's not all inclusive. You get food, but you have to buy your drinks. Yeah, drinks. There'll be a bar, and it's a day cruise, so we will be stopping at the beach for a swim. And so, just contact us, any one of us from the constituency, to get your tickets for the cruise.
Folks can just show up. What
You
time
can
the
show
boat
up.
leaves?
The boat leaves at 1.
1 o'clock.
And so we look forward to doing that. It's all in an effort to advance the work in the constituency. Remember, not being the MP, because I'm not the MP, I do not get the $10,000. I think some people forget that, because I try to do so much, they assume, no, I do not get the $10,000. In fact, I get no government support.
Yes.
So when you come to see me on Thursdays and so, that little office there, I pay for it.
Yeah.
So these efforts are so that we can continue to do these things, to maintain the office and to do the work of the NDC in the constituency. So you will be supporting a worthy cause. So do buy a ticket. If you're not able to come to the cruise, purchase a ticket and give it to somebody who would happy. It's Carnival, so I know everybody looking for a lime.
Well,
so let the lime be with the tongue of St. George this Saturday.
Well, it's a
Colin.
spirited moment.
Yes. So thank you.
Thank you very much for being part of the Heartbeat today, and
Yes.
do appreciate you coming in to explain all about the intellectual property rights and opportunities, and congratulations to Vaughan on being the Youth Ambassador for International Property, first in the region, and
First in the world for music.
first in the world for music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. First in the
Well,
world.
we need to bring in Vaughan
I
so we
think
can
so.
talk about all
I
of
think you need
this
to,
and
yes.
how he feels about this great accomplishment.
And remember, the world has 6 billion people. There are only 16 IP youth ambassadors, and our Vaughan is one.
Wow, this is
Imagine that.
major. Little Grenada. Wow.
Imagine that.
How
Yes.
many firsts we are known for.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for being part of the Heartbeat, and thank you all for joining the Heartbeat today, and join us again next Sunday when we'll have another equally interesting and stimulating conversation to share with you. Thank you, and have a great Sunday afternoon. Goodbye now.
The NDC branch of the town of St. George announces its $80 and are available from GoToFet, Grenadian Optical, and NDC Town of St. George members. For more information, call 458-7449 or 416-5310. The NDC Town of St. George branch announces its Carnival Kickoff Rum Runner Cruise on Saturday, July 26th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Get your tickets now. The Grenada Cultural Festival Group invites you to the 17th Annual Grenada Carco and Petit Madling Day. Bring the whole family out to celebrate and experience the culture with live performances from Grenadian artists, crafts, and food on sale. Sunday, August 17th, 2025. All boys and girls field 777 Rutland Road, Brooklyn, New York, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Performing live, Loverman, Slaughter, Skinny Button, Westways, King Blake, Joe Joseph, and so many more. Special performances by Quick USA, the Greenhouse Drummers, the Big Drum Dancers, Spice Generation Dance Company, and Jab Jab Family. Featuring from Grenada Conception Dance Theatre. There will be lots of activities for the kids, bouncy castle, face painting, and so much more. Your MC, Big Pumps. Get your tickets online, GrenadaDay2025.eventbrite.com. It's Grenada Day 2025, Sunday, August 17. This event is sponsored by Ariza Credit Union, Grenada Cooperative Bank, National Lottery Association, Apple Bank, Williams Funeral Services, Allstate Insurance, La Bay Market, the Coldpot Bar and Grill, New Radio Digital, and Crossroad Radio. Come out and celebrate the culture, rain or shine. This activity is not sponsored or supported by NYC or the Department of Education.
Get ready for the ultimate summer in the park family fun day at the Seaview Park in Brooklyn. Join us on Sunday, July 27th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. for a day packed with fun, friends, and food. Enjoy free dental giveaways, exciting games for the kids, live music, and drumming that will keep everyone dancing. Bring the whole family out for a day you won't forget. For more information, call 973-462-0596 or visit www.ndcnewyorkchapter.com. Don't miss this amazing free event. Sponsored by the NDC New York Chapter. Summer in the Park Family Fun Day. It's coming. Be part of it.
Let's get in gear as the Spice Mass Corporation starts the semis weekend. The road to the crown. Weekend kicks off with the Brand Griffith Groovy Soca Semis. Thursday, 24th July, 8 p.m. Then the Trevor Friday Power Soca Semis. Friday, July 25th, also at 8 p.m. And for the Calypso lovers, the Melody Puppeted Calypso Semis. Sunday, 27th July at 5 p.m. All going down at Progress Park in St. Andrew. Admission only $40 for each show. Get your tickets now online at gotafed.com and all SMC authorized outlets. Semis weekend. Groovy, Thursday the 24th. Power Soca, Friday the 25th. And Calypso, Sunday, July 27th. Progress Park. It's mad.